This video is the start of our 2017 European tour. The first part of this is London, England, where we stayed with friends on Hampstead Heath. Hampstead Heath, locally known simply as the Heath, is a large ancient London park covering 320 hectares. The Heath first entered the history books in 986. The City of London Corporation has managed the Heath since 1989. Today it still feels like a village with many small local shops and pubs. The food in the Heath was excellent. Both the pub, restaurants and the takeaway places were great. The Saturday market and the fresh produce were incredible, especially the homemade pies and sausage rolls. They were to die for. Many notable people lived in this area over many centuries. We saw many of these plaques on quite a few of the houses. These are just a couple. Fenton House is a 17th century merchant's house in Hampstead in North London, which belongs to the National Trust. It is a detached house with a walled garden, which is large by London standards and features roses and orchids and a working kitchen garden. Over 30 types of apple trees flourish here. Apple Day is held in late September every year. This gives the public the opportunity to try these apples, and also other things are made from these apples like blossom honey.
Kind of volume of it coming out. So that's just from the swell opening. So you can really hear the difference that it makes. But effectively, this is why pianos were kind of invented, because people didn't want to have, they wanted to have their mind on their hand.
The Benton Fletcher collection, housed at Fenton House in London, contains an outstanding selection of early keyboard instruments, including harpsichords, spinets, and many different other varieties of instruments, including pianos. Considering its small size, this collection includes a remarkable selection of extremely rare 16th and early 17th century Italian examples. The Heath itself is extremely well used, especially on weekends. It has great views over to Greater London and is let to remain quite wild. It's not really a groomed park. Pete and Therese, our gracious hosts, took us on a tour of London. We had a great day and navigated via the London Tube. Therese was an expert in working out what stations were the easiest to get to the locations we needed to be. We saw a great deal in one day and had a fantastic day. Here's a few clips from the day and a few still photographs as well. London turned on a really fine day for us, which is, as everyone knows, it can be quite unusual for the weather to be as good as it was while we were in London. Temperatures got up into the 30s a few days. But generally the weather was really good to us, and nighttime temperatures were in the high teens. This site was in the Harry Potter films, where the kids used to go and buy their books and stores for school. On the 16th of July, we left early in the morning to go to Brick Lane to look for Sue's grandfather's factory, sewing machine factory, which we found, but it since has been replaced. But as a bonus, we ran across all this street art that you're seeing here now. It was a little creepy early in the morning, but as the day moved on, more people arrived and it didn't feel so creepy. This area has always been inhabited by migrants, starting with the Jewish community, the Italians, and now primarily Muslims. Of course, no trip is complete without a trip to the National Art Gallery. I loved all of this. We spent several hours here, and of course the guy in the porcupine suit, who you'll see now, I'd imagine has a really stiff back. Next was a tube ride, and of course if you're in London you have to go to the Abbey, and then off we went around the streets to listen to Big Ben. These kids were having the best time with such a simple piece of equipment to make these huge bubbles with. Then of course it was off to see the Queen. We were so lucky as tourists to get a day when the Queen was out and about. We're going to see the Queen.
This entire thing.
The guards were getting ready for their boss to arrive. These two guys had a chat right in front of us. I'm pretty sure they were talking about the footy game last night. More footy chit-chat. There she is. The shouting you can hear in this clip is the Spanish people in the crowd calling out to their queen, saying hello. The horses and the carriages and all the equipment was just truly amazing. It's incredible to think in this day and age that all this is still financed. All these horses have to be housed, and behind each group of horses there was a horse ambulance that followed in case there were any incidents with the horses. It's quite amazing when you see a government building flying the GBLT flag. No trip to London can happen without a visit to Abbey Road. Such a famous place, especially for our generation. We both crossed the road, had a great time, and a few Abbey Road specialists have pointed out that, in fact, I was walking the wrong way. However, there was traffic too to consider. Sue has had a lifetime dream of visiting her father's birthplace in London, a small village named Chalfont St. Peter, which is located near Gerrards Cross. We set out on the train to Gerrards Cross station, a copy of the birth certificate in hand, and had decided to walk from the station out to the house about 4 kilometres. Gerrards Cross is a well-known suburb of London, and there was an excellent pub along the way with a Michelin rating, so of course we stopped in for a pint and a meal. Luckily, Wolf Arbiter's house, Water Hall, is now on the heritage listing because of its sundial and some of the tiling. The house is just beautiful, a historic gem with farmland surroundings. What a thrill for Sue to step on the same ground her grandfather and Nana once lived, and where her dad was born.